So we'll move forward, and let us now you could see that how negatively past has been impacting you. So let us go ahead. So the most important feelings what we hold on from the past is resentment. So let us dive more into this resentment, and how it looks like, and what experience of life do I carry from this resentment. So it is said that resentment is a self-inflicted injury. Resentment is a constant form of stress, and resentment is a very strong negative emotion which also negatively impacts your health, impact your emotional space, impact your physical space. So resentment is a self-imprisonment. I have bounded myself in the same painful feelings, same strong charge emotion, very strong charge emotion. It's like a imprisoning your own self and not allowing yourself to experience your life. So that is how the resentment looks like. It's a beautiful story. So what happens is, once there was a teacher. There was a teacher, and the teacher had given one assignment to all the students. And the teacher had told, okay, the assignment is, I want you to write name of all the people in your life whom you have anger towards. So if you are angry towards someone, make a list, make a sheet, maybe make a slip. So let us see how many slips. Somebody had 5 slips, somebody had 10 slips. They had written the name of people whom they were angry towards. Somebody had 15 slips. So, and the teacher told, okay, how many number of slips you have to purchase same number of potatoes, and he had to stick that slip to each potato separately. Interesting. So as many number of people slips you have made means more number of people you have anger toward, more slips you will have, and the more potatoes you will have. Okay, so now if you are angry toward 5 people, you will carry 5 potatoes. If you have angry toward 15 people, you will carry 15 potatoes. And your assignment is, you have to carry all these potatoes with you for the whole next 1 week. For the whole next 1 week, you have to carry all these potatoes wherever you go. These potatoes has to be with you for the next 1 week. And for day 1 it was okay, because it was still fresh. It is said that it's easy to hold 5 gram of weight for some time. But if you have been asked to carry 5 grams of weight for the next 1 week, it will be very painful. Similarly, the same thing happened to all of them. Initially it was light. It was only 5 potatoes, 10 potatoes, 15 potatoes maximum. But when they were always carrying that load, they were always start feeling that burden. They were sleeping with the same potatoes, and because they were to carry the same potatoes, they were going to washroom with same potatoes, and those potatoes start becoming wet, and after few days those potatoes start stinking, so they started giving foul smell. So all the students start becoming disgusted at what is this, I am carrying so many potatoes, stinking potatoes with all of us all the time. It's so disgusting, so painful, so difficult to do that. And the more potatoes you had, the more weight you were carrying, the more it was stinking, and the more miserable life you had, the more painful life and the more degrading life you were leading. So after 1 week, all the children comes back to the teacher in the classroom, and everybody had very somber, very gloomy faces, very sad faces. Somebody was crying, somebody was just very angry, And they were saying to teacher, is there any way we can just give up those potatoes? We can just let go of those potatoes from our life? And the teacher said, yes. How many number of people you are ready to forgive? That many potatoes you can let go of. So we also have been carrying so many stinking, dirty potatoes with all of us. It means that stinking, that dirty, that painful energy with all of us and everywhere all the time. And it's even more painful now than it was actually was. Actually it was X amount of pain. But now since it is building up, it has become the 10x amount of pain. The pain which you actually experienced because of that event, because of that ditch, because of that hatred, because of that hurt from that person, now you are experiencing 120, 200 and 1000 amount of more pain than it was actual. So now it's up to us how many potatoes we want to let go of. So getting angry is actually punishing yourself with the mistake of others. So if you are becoming angry towards someone, it is we are punishing ourselves. It is because I have to become angry. It is because I have to show that and that anger will be created in me. So anger is happening where? Anger is happening within all of us. And the negative chemical is getting released within all of us. It is said that, and let me give you this idea how negatively your anger impacts you. So anger is a cause of acid reflux. Anger is a cause of a lot of autoimmune diseases. Anger is a cause of indigestion. Anger is a cause of rashes on your body. Anger is a cause of your headaches. Anger is a cause of the pains you experience in your life. Because the brain releases cortisol if you have to really experience anger, that hatred. And that cortisol, the chemical name cortisol, goes and directly impacts your nervous system. And when it impacts your nervous system, it starts becoming weaker and weaker and weaker and weaker. So it is just like anger is a toxic element which is degrading, killing you from within. It's a punishment to us. So you will not be punished for your anger. Sometimes we think if we become angry, we will be punished for your anger. We will be punished by our anger. So it is anger itself will be killing us. We really don't have to get any other punishment. So we have to move from victim consciousness to victory consciousness. If we start continuing to feel victim, I was victimized by that person, then it is really is not taking you anywhere. It is just you're just recreating your life in the same way which you had experienced earlier. There is going to be no change. No matter how much wealth you earn, no matter how many people you have around you, no matter how much anything you have materially in your life, it is going to be same and similar life what you had experienced earlier. So if you want to really create that new experience, new life, new beginning, refreshing life, start thinking about how much resentment I have been holding and how much negativity has been impacting on me. I'm just trying to create awareness, because awareness is very important. If you are not aware what am I really dealing with, it's difficult for us to let go of that. So it is a consciousness of compassion which can help us neutralize that pain, anger and hatred. So sometime this is a very fresh perspective all of you will have. At some time we are not able to forgive someone because we are not able to forgive ourselves. It is me who thinks, how come I allowed myself to be exploited by that person? How come I allowed to be in that situation where that person could do harm to me? It is my mistake. How come I did not understand that person's intention well? How come I have fallen into that kind of relationship? I am so bad person. I don't know how to choose people. So because I am not able to, because I think there was an element of my mistake also in that, and it was because of me I invited that experience in my life. So I think it is me who's the cause, and because that's a very angry feeling, very painful feeling, you cannot forgive that other person. Yeah, interesting question. That sometimes there are something which we can forgive, there are something which we cannot forgive. We'll be discussing about different beliefs we carry about forgiveness, whether we can forgive, whether we should not forgive. So it is conditional forgiveness. Something I will forgive, something I will not forgive. That will give you conditional happiness. Sometime you will be happy, sometime you will not be happy. Sometime you will be in miserable situation, sometime you will be in a happy situation. So yes, conditional forgiveness means conditional happiness. So it is a compassion which can help us neutralizes that anger, enviousness and hatred. And that is gonna be the one of the most important aspect and one of the most important stages of forgiveness. Compassion towards ourselves, which brings forgiveness. Compassion toward that person, which neutralizes that anger, hatred, enviousness toward other person. So now we have another experience for all of you, and it is going to be more interesting. So there's a philosophy known as what resist persist. If you keep on resisting certain emotions, you would see those emotions will keep on coming to your life in different shapes and forms. So in our coaching exercises we do separately when we have the one-to-one coaching sessions. One of the most important aspect of those coaching is to allow yourself to experience your pain, because we are very expert in numbing the pain. The resentment which we feel toward other person is very painful. We don't want to really feel those painful emotions. That's why we just numb those emotions, and that's why we don't allow those emotions to get processed. So at this point of time, it will be painful exercise, but I would invite all of you to go through with that. You will experience more lightness. So I want all of you to close your eyes for next 2 minutes and remember, visualize the resentment which you are feeling towards somebody in your life which you are not able to forgive. That anger, that pain, that grudges, and experience that as a third person, like an observer, like as if you're surfing the waves of emotions. So when we surf with the help of skateboard, we allow to go through the path of waves of emotions. So if it is going up, we're going up. If it is coming down, I'm going down. I'm not resisting those emotions. So see if you're becoming angry, see if you're becoming resentful, see if you're becoming enviousness. Feel what are you experiencing, what kind of emotions are you experiencing, and where are you feeling it in your body. Where is that emotion, strong emotions is experienced in your body? Is it in your stomach? Is it on your chest, on your shoulder, head? Which part of the body? If you were to give any analogy how this emotions looks like, it feels like what? Sometimes people say it feels like I'm stuck in a dark well. Sometimes people say I'm stuck in a dark room. Sometimes people think I'm jumping from the cliff. That kind of experience, that kind of feelings. So any expression you can give to your feelings. So we'll be sharing these exercises. You can also practice that whenever you have time. So resentment can be taken care of, only when we allow us to experience it and let go of it. So letting go will not happen unless we are experiencing it fully, we are processing it. Now that we have understood that it is resentment feeling which I have been carrying from the past is been impacting my life now, and it is impacting my life in the future. So let us see how that is magnifying or how that is being expressed. It is said that, very important principle, what you focus on, it expands. Very important aspect. Whatever you focus in our life, that grows. And this principle is applied both for negative and positive. If you focus on negative, that will expand in your life. If you focus on positive, that will expand on your life, because that is a principle. People says grass is greener other side, but grass is greener where you water, not other side. So whichever part of you are feeding with your energy, that is fattening and that is becoming more strong in your life. So that is a very important principle. A negative mind will never give you positive life. If you are too much negative in my mind, I cannot expect to have positive life, because that is what I've been always focusing upon. Law of attraction works. If I am been always focusing on what I lack, on all those certain negative emotions, the same emotions you are going to attract over and over and over and over. That is a very, very powerful principle. If we can absorb this principle, we would see how drastically our life can change. If you too much focus on the negative aspect of that person, or if you too much focus on negative aspect about ourselves, if you too much focus upon negative situations in my life, you would see that will keep on expanding. The more you think about something, the more it becomes part of your reality. And mind you, it's such a powerful statement that you have always keep thinking about something, it actually becomes your reality, because you're creating that in your mind. And the principle goes, what you create in your mind gets created in the future in a physical reality also. The first creation happens in the mind, thinking, feeling and willing. It all happens. How much you're empowering that person, the more you're thinking about that person who has hurted you, the more that person is becoming strong in your life. So instead of actually punishing that person, you're making your enemy, you're making your person whom has hurted you even more stronger. And that person will take over your life completely. And all your experience will be ruled from that person's now. That person has become the boss of your life. So again, our stories, what we just discussed, rewriting your stories. What we tell to us, what happened to us, that is what the real crux is. As in my story I told, I was very grudgeful toward that person who hit me with the viper, and I lost one eye. Because of that, I had to really experience a lot of pain. And that same person became the hero of my life. Because of that person, I am what I am today. So it is the story what we tell to ourselves. So very interestingly, we feel that we are very weak in our life, and I cannot really forgive that person, or I'm very weak in forgiving. I cannot forgive that person. And let us see how the story which we tell to ourselves changes us. What happens? Very beautiful story. There was a lioness. She was pregnant, and there was a hunter. So hunter starts shooting arrows, and the lioness becomes very perturbed, very fearful. In that fear, the lionesses give birth to lion cub, and immediately that lioness dies. And there was a lion who was the father of this cub. He started becoming angry and run toward the person, who has shooted the arrow, the hunter, and now the hunter kills that lion also. So now the cub was born, and the lion and lionesses also died. So in that sense, it was like a orphan cub. So what happened? There was a bear cubs, and let's imagine that person's name was Kashi. That lion cub name was Kashi. So now the bear cubs comes. There was many of them, and they start taking care of this Kashi, lion cub, and they start taking care of him, start thinking about him, they always remain together. And the Kashi, this lion cub, start thinking like a bear. He start thinking as if he's a part of this community, and he has similar amount of strength as the bear has. They are very weak. They eat, vegetarian. They eat fruits and they eat vegetables. They don't eat flesh. The Kashi also will not eat flesh. So he started recognizing himself. His internal image started developing as if he's a bear. He's very weak in that sense. So then what happens? There was a lion. There was a group of lion came and attacked all the bears. And all the bears got killed. And this Kashi was very fearful. He had grown up by then. He also had become lion. And those lion comes, and those lions does not touch the Kashi, but they killed all the bears. And this Kashi is very fearful of all the lions. And Kashi is thinking, now they are going to kill me. And as soon as they saw this Kashi, the lion, they start feeling happy, jubilant. Oh, we have found one more lion of our group. Now our group has become strong. But this Kashi was even fearful of going near them. And Kashi is thinking, I'm a bear, and this lion has come to kill me. And now he's feeling hungry, and this lioness comes and gives a flesh. Eat this. He said, I cannot eat this because I'm a bear. He said, no, you're not a bear. You're a Kashi. You're a lion. You're a man. He said, no, I'm a bear. No, you're a lion. I'm a lion? He said, yes, you're a lion. And then when he saw himself, he looks like a lion, which is in front of him. He started eating flesh. He started feeling that strength. Oh yes, I'm a lion, I'm not a bear. I'm a very powerful being. I'm the king of the whole jungle. So see, now the whole life of that Kashi changed. Because he recognized that I have that power that I can kill all this bear, I can protect myself. When he was with the bear, he had that very low self-image. I'm a bear, I'm not a lion. And now once that story changed, and the lion started telling himself what he really is, the whole story changed, the whole life changed, the whole experience of life changed. Similarly, when we understand we are a spiritual being, we have that power to let go of any negative emotions. We have that strength within us. Just that we have forgotten that strength. So if we see each and every aspects of my life, if we set up in the right setup, and if I have that event, what has happened to me from a larger scheme of things, from a bigger scheme of things, and how that has empowered me, that can empower me to realize my true value, the whole pain, whole anger, whole grudges get diffused from there. So again, the principle remains same. What grows? Where we focus. The Kashi was focusing, I'm a bear. He continued becoming weaker and weaker. Now Kashi started thinking, oh, I'm a lion. I'm a strong man. He started regaining his strength. So whatever you are for, it inspires you. Whatever you are against, it drains you. So if you are thinking negative about something, about someone, about any situation in your life, it is constantly draining you. It is a energy vampire. The thought is an energy vampire. The thought is gonna drain you to an extent wherein you'll be completely weakened. But if we have the positive aspects, or if we have resolved, we have rewritten the story, we have experienced our emotions fully and not avoiding that pain, and we have gone through that journey in our life, you would see how that is inspiring you. So I always say that we should focus on what we want, not on what we don't want. So what is the problem if we focus on the things what we don't want? All of you, please tell me the answer. What is the problem if we focus on the things what we don't want? Anyone would like to share in the chat section? They grow more negatively. Yes. So we should not say to ourselves what we don't want. We should say to ourselves what we really want. Oh, I don't want to become angry again. I don't want to have the same fearful situation. I want to avoid pain. The more you try to avoid pain, the more pain will come in your life. And the more you try to experience joy, focus more on positive, the more that will be given to your life. So last exercise at this point of time about appreciation. The second principle is appreciation. What you appreciate, it appreciates. If you are constantly thinking negative about that person, that will keep on growing in my mind, and which is going to burn me down. And if I shift my attention to appreciate that person, because we discussed last time also, we cannot equate a negative aspect of a person to the whole person. So if we appreciate a person for his qualities, good quality what we see, that also will appreciates, and that will help us forgiving that person. So now at this point of time, just last 2 minutes, I request all of you to write down these points. The negative thought about the person who hurts you. What are the negative points about that person who has hurted me? Maybe just type on the chat section, or just write it down, or just type on your mobile phone, wherever, however it works for you. What are the negative thoughts you have about that person who has hurted you? The next question you should answer is, how many different ways it is exhausting you, it is draining you, it is depleting you, it is burning you out. How it makes you feel, how your spiritual life is getting hampered, how physically you are becoming weak, how your bandwidth of emotions have gone down, how all different ways that is impacting me negatively if I'm thinking more and more negative thing about that person. The last point is, see if you can help yourself appreciating something about that person. Maybe like whatever, because not a whole person is bad. He might have done something wrong to me, but see if you can really appreciate something about that person. Hatred, sadness, more frustration, agitated, unhappy, holding more emotions. Yes. How it is depleting you. How it is depleting you energetically, emotionally, physically, spiritually. How much weak it has made me. If you continue to experience same emotions over and over and over and over. And now see if you can really help yourself appreciating at least one point. One point about that person which he appreciates. One point, only one point. And see how it makes you feel. So again, we are not doing this exercise to really make this person right. I'm doing these exercises on the basis that I want to help myself. I have to release that emotions, I have to grow in myself, I have to let go of that emotions, I have to clear more space in my life so that I can grow more. It is about me now. It is not about that person anymore.